We're home right now, but in a short while, we're going to be gone a bit.
We're on our way back from Salt Lake. We have interesting news about my health.
We're at the summit of Pequot Pass.
Having peanut butter and banana sandwiches. Peanut butter on the roof of my mouth. And raw milk. Raw milk. Raw milk.
Excellent raw milk.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
We got home and
Yay, we're home.
and actually we're going over to see Connie and Tim's new baby goats. They had 4 baby goats from one new mama that's never been a mama. And they have 4 little piglets. So
Not from the goat.
Not from the goats. So we're gonna go see them and take some pictures. Oh my word, they're so tiny! Oh my goodness! Oh my word, look at that! I've never seen in person that. I've seen them on YouTube, but I've never seen them that tiny.
You mean to go get one for you?
Oh yeah. They're playing King of the Mountain already.
Right, on a mineral block.
And so was that little one. Oh my goodness. So what are your girls? Which one are your girls?
So this marshmallow is a white one.
Oh.
Is a girl.
Marshmallow.
This is marshmallow.
Quieter. You can hold her this way. Everyone, this is Connie, if you remember. She's our good friend.
These are Nigerian dwarf goats.
So precious.
And how many days old are they now?
They were born on Saturday, and this is
Tuesday.
Come here, Stinker. Come here. Come here.
Why Stinker?
Well, because it's a little stinker.
Actually, we named him Skunk, but he's a little stinker.
Oh, I
looks
see
like
the
a
color for
skunk.
skunk.
Because look at
Yes.
this.
Yes. Oh my goodness, you're so blessed to have 4. Don't you think?
Yeah, I certainly didn't expect her to.
Oh. Okay. It's okay.
It's okay, Mama.
It's okay. It's okay. Mama doesn't want you out here.
It's okay, Mama.
You're good.
What are you doing?
I've never seen one this tiny.
You're amazing.
So how'd she do?
Oh, they were born within 45 minutes.
All 4 of
Yes.
them?
Yes. One is.
Marshmallow.
Oh, we better
Oh, goodness.
we better get one back and then hand another one.
Okay, little mama. There go Ginger. I'm sorry.
So one more.
Okay, I'm gonna have some milk to make me feel better. You know, it's so funny. I'm crawling around on the bottom here where I'm sure there's poop, and it's just like, who cares? Look at this cute little. Okay, definitely the favorite marshmallow, huh? of them. I'm just blown away.
I have a video of them.
Oh, you do? Well, hello, little piggies.
Got some carrots for
Oh,
you.
some are much smaller than the other.
Oh, I just broke that one.
See that one with the black spots?
Uh-huh.
See how his back?
Funny.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this one is tiny.
Oh, I know. And look at that back.
Huh?
Yeah, it's like his shoulders, you know, that right behind his shoulders.
I know.
Weird.
Yeah,
But
isn't
he
that
doesn't
weird?
move like he's got a problem.
No, he moves with no pain whatsoever. Oh,
I gotta take a picture. This is a
it's a
pig nose print right on my leg.
It's perfectly round.
It is perfectly round. Oh my goodness, friendly pigs.
It is wonderful to be back home on a nice, cool July evening.
I know, this is really
You know,
cool.
that's what I like. We're far enough north that we don't have the hot nights. The sun starts to go down. I mean, it's almost down.
It's slowly
and the temperature
setting in the western sky.
dips on down. And I mean, it's comfortable. I mean, I'm not sweating.
It's almost cold.
I mean, I can go to sleep tonight and sleep well. I got bugs flying around my face. This is great. But it's good to be home again. Oh,
We had a great time in a weird sort of way. No, we had a really great time because we got to go to Willow Creek. We got to go to our sons. We did all kinds of things, and we went for long drives. And well, the main reason we went to Salt Lake was for 2 doctor appointments for me. And
we kind of threw in the Friday
The fun
afternoon,
stuff.
Saturday stuff that we got to do. We were there. I mean, we had to make the trip, right?
I know, so may as well have
So we
fun.
had a great time, did a lot of fun things.
But if you've followed us for a while, you know that we left Missouri because we decided after all the problems with health between him and me, we wanted to be closer to family.
Be
And
able
we
to spend time with them.
have definitely been able to do that.
Have those moments, make those memories.
So when we left Missouri, we went to Denver, and I went through a series of tests that have to do with the problem that I had.
Have.
And you also know that I broke my hand, and I've been through 2 surgeries. So the first thing we did yesterday was we went to the University of Utah, and first of all, I said
Was that
first of all
just
twice.
yesterday?
It was just yesterday.
It seems like a week ago.
I know.
Whoa.
I love teaching hospitals. I went to school at Ohio State University, and I
thought it was the Ohio State
It
University.
is. And I love teaching hospitals.
I hadn't really been exposed to it that way like we were.
It was amazing.
What a great experience.
So I saw a surgeon who was an orthopedic surgeon for my hand, and his intern.
Can I tell about that part of it?
Please.
You know, we University Hospital, the orthopedic center at University of Utah, actually, and so we're in the exam room waiting, and in comes a young doctor. Well, it's not a young doctor. Maybe she's a doctor. We don't know.
She might be an intern. I don't know what she was.
But we didn't know at the time, and later we learned that she was, but very thorough question and answer. No real examination at that point, but
Well,
just
she did a lot of hand holding.
yeah, she held your hand a lot and looked at, because that's really the
He held
subject
my hand
matter.
a lot too.
Yes, but lots of questions. I mean, really in-depth questions, and she wasn't really drawing conclusions, but she was gathering a lot of
I
information.
happened to answer yes
And yes,
to all the questions.
yes, yeah. She had a series. Well, when she looked at the history, and then she started asking questions, and it took her down a direction to where she was like looking at a list that had to do with a particular condition, and she was asking, does it do this? Do you have this? Do you feel this? Have you done this? Have you felt this? That. And yes, 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 and no when it should be no, whatever. But it was just like textbook. And so she was finished, and she said, I'll go discuss this with Dr. whatever his name was, and then we'll be back and we'll talk to you about it. It was pretty amazing. I
Right.
mean, that experience was great, but knowing that, wow, we get 2 doctors for the price of one, which is pretty cool.
So she asked me if I'd ever heard of chronic regional pain syndrome.
CRPS.
And I had, just because of the reading that I'd done when my hand kept hurting. And so that's kind of
But
what
she hadn't told me about it.
I didn't tell
because she
him.
was afraid of it.
So
Which really, from what you read about, you should be afraid
should
of
be
it.
afraid
It can be really bad, especially if not treated.
So it's and it's not completely treatable. So they're working on it because we caught it. It's been 14 weeks since I had my surgery. And CRPS is when you have pain that's worse than what it should be for a longer period of
Now,
time.
And they described it as being, well, no, they didn't describe it, but the reading that I did is it's damage to, well, they did mention the
Damage to the nerve.
central nervous
The
system
nerve.
and the peripheral nervous system, that there's some damage that's gone on, and it spreads.
It can spread like clear to my foot. So anyway, right now it's, this is where the pain was.
Neighbors mowing the lawn.
Sorry. And it's spread, so this finger doesn't bend down.
That's the
And
extent.
this one has moved over into this one. And I have pain in here, and sometimes my thumb doesn't work. So it's spread. So what it is you can have hot, you can be cold, you can look like you have a modeling. It can look bluish.
A lot of tender.
Super, super hypersensitive on the incision. Anyway, I had all the stuff.
There was more. I mean, it was a
lot
long
more.
list. We won't bore you with that.
So when he came in, we'll just jump to the chase. Well, wait a minute, let me go back. What she said was, if you could only fix one thing, what would you fix? And I said, my mobility, my function. I can't function. I can't open bottles. I can't.
But there's some concern that this is rotated somewhat, because, when she puts her hand
Because
down,
if I do this,
it crosses
see the
over.
way it crosses over.
So there's really 2 issues. The full mobility, and then this thumb rotating in. And they did, in looking at the x-rays, say that it is somewhat rotated. It's not set in the proper place, which is upsetting.
I don't want to bore you. I am having surgery again. My number 3 surgery. They're not going to be able to fix the rotation at that time. In order to fix the rotation, they have to break the bone again. So what they're going to do is make the incision that goes all the way up and where it was exactly on the incision, and then go up further on this pinky. As you can see, this does not bend whatsoever. It doesn't bend down. They're going to take the incision, and then they're going to shave out
No. First, they're going to take out the screws and remove the plate.
that. And then they're going to shave down all of the scar tissue.
And it's something we asked just to confirm, is in looking at the x-ray, they are 100% convinced that the bone is completely healed. There's been plenty of time and it looks good, so the plate is not needed anymore.
Right. But it is causing lots of problems to my hand. So the plate is coming out, they're shaving down this, and then they'll wake me up before...
Shaving down as in removing the scar tissue.
Yeah. Then, so I'm going to demonstrate on this hand. they're going to make sure that I can make a fist all the way down before I get out of the OR. And then they're going to take this finger and make it so that it is set downwards as it's healing.
So it has no chance to do any kind of healing that puts it to where it can't come all the way down.
But here's the clincher. The surgery is on the 16th and on the 17th, and every day for 2 weeks I go to physical therapy where they're going to take it out, work it, and then put it back into this mode.
And a lot of that has to do, with the surgery they're doing, but with the CRPS, because it's aggressive, and in order to overcome it, physical therapy has to be more aggressive than the syndrome is.
Yeah, that. So that's happening in 2 weeks, and I will be in Salt Lake for a while. And my daughter, who is delivering in Salt Lake, will be there 5 or 6 days after I go there. She has to be there at that time in case she delivers. And so it kind of works out right, because I'm going to be there for my surgery and recovery, and I would be there anyway to be with her. So, and he's going to be there, and our garden's going to be on autopilot. And we'll come back and look at it once in a while.
Probably come back. We'll see how often we come back. Not more than weekly.
Yeah.
Because it's a long drive.
Yeah.
Having just driven that today.
Number two.
Not a commute.
Number 2, I went to another doctor today to follow up on my other problem. If you'll think back when I went through all of the breast...
The problem that caused all of this to unfold.
Yeah, when we thought we had cancer. And the one thing the doctor said to me today, and she was another amazing doctor, she said, I'm glad they went through all of the diagnosis to help rule out that you had breast cancer, but I wish they had done a biopsy long before they did anything. And so today,
if it had been up to her, from everything we had told her, she would have started with a biopsy.
So today I had another biopsy done because I'm weird, and they're going to have a panel discussion with the pathology students to figure out what it is.
The challenge is that as we described the symptoms, and as she did an extremely thorough exam, the most thorough exam you've had this whole time, and it's the way that it's exhibiting, it's hard to say what it is. There are a few possibilities, and so she's very concerned and jumping to conclusions. She definitely wants to get all the information, but because it is so unusual, it's going to take the biopsy and some very smart people as a group talking about what they're observing, and till they can agree, at least come to some type of a conclusion that is the most plausible.
Right.
Because, the hope is that in the biopsy, something shows up that the pathologist can say, look, this is what it is, and it becomes definitive. If that's not the case, then they have to take everything into consideration and make a best assumption about what's going on so they can come up with a treatment that makes sense.
Because for the last entire year, I have been pretty miserable there, and I continue to be miserable. So that's the situation, and we will find out the biopsy probably after the surgery.
Yeah, 10 days to 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I'm going to have an appointment with them 2 days after my hand surgery. I have an appointment with the other one. So
we want this to be over, but we want Rhenda to be healthy. We want her hand to be back functionally. She can get as much function as possible without a lot of pain. But we also need an answer on this rash or whatever it is that she's having, so that we can identify what it is and either know we need a very aggressive treatment to take care of it, or you're going to be with this the rest of your life, but it's never going to hurt you other than being extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah. when the doctor walked in for my hand, he was just laughing. He goes, "This is a good story," because he'd heard about the cartwheel. So anyway, all in all, it was a really great 4.5 days, and we loved being with Willow Creek, and we loved being with Connie and her new goats and her new pigs, and we love homesteading. We love homesteading. We went and looked at so many farms, didn't we?
Yeah, different. You know, even though that they're not that far apart, just climate-wise, and a lot of that's based on just the microclimate they're in as far as the amount of water that's available and that type of thing. And
we got little bugs on here. It must be time to go in. I just wanted to say one thing really quick, because one of our viewers was asking about it. In the video that we put out with Willow Creek, when I was overjoyed by this refrigerator full of milk and dairy products, that was on a farm very local to Willow Creek, and it's on a Jersey farm where it's completely organic. All the feed is organic. Everything there is done organically.
And the farmer has his fields paddocked off, so he very small paddocks with electric fence, and he moves them from one to the other. So the fields get to regenerate.
We live in a food desert. They do not. That was just pure joy, and they also took us to a butcher shop. We're just like, oh my word! We bought a large ice chest and carried everything home, and just bought along the way. We kind of bought along the way. It was amazing.
Because we do go over there
a lot,
occasionally, frequently, more frequently than we thought.
Salt Lake, not Preston, but we would love to.
Yeah, it's just a little ways further depending on what we're doing, but we're going to need the cooler because there's a lot more good food available than what we've been able to find here, and so that's, you know, having the cooler will make certain when we do find it, we have a way to get it home in good shape.
We've been rambling for a while. Thank you for staying with us and watching.
We really appreciate you watching and going on this journey with us and learning with us and cheering us on. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.